Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Forrest Lee, and Bill was unable to be here this morning. He's got a son under the weather, and we should have Michael calling in from Grayton Beach here in a few minutes. And yesterday Mike called in, and Mike's on the mend, and we're glad that he's doing better each and every day. But want to thank you for joining today's show, Today in LA. It's Wednesday, April the 14th, and if you remember the commercial, it's Hump Day. But today is also National Gardening Day. Go to your local co-op and pick up some flowers and some vegetables and some seed and put them in the dirt if you hadn't already done so. It's also National Pecan Day. Go to Whaley Pecans and pick you out a gift basket. They got all kind of stuff you can order. You can go online and order stuff and send it to your loved ones across the country. And so today's National Pecan Day, and it's National Gardening Day. I want to pass this along. When I was in the National Guard in Troy, Alabama, I was in the artillery unit, and I worked under Roy Sanders. And on the weekend drill, we had a fellow by the name of Harry Adams who drilled with us. He lived in Montgomery. But Harry's wife, Beverly McGlon Adams, passed away recently. They're living in Memphis, Tennessee. She's the daughter of James and Miss Imogene Perry, and they have two daughters, Allison and Blakely. But her service, Beverly McGlon, she was a graduate of Troy University. She also attended Charles Henderson High School. Good morning. Welcome to Today in LA. This is Forrest.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. It's me and you right now. Bill couldn't be here. Jack's under the weather. But I just mentioned that Beverly McGlon Adams passed away. You know, her husband's Harry. She was a graduate of Charles Henderson and Troy University. They were living in Memphis, Tennessee. She was 70 years old, but her service is this Friday. But Beverly McGlon Adams, and our thoughts and prayers are with Harry and his family. How are you feeling today?
Doing real good. I was getting a backfire on this phone here, and let me fix it a little bit.
So you sound pretty good on this end.
All right, good.
Have you cooked breakfast this morning?
No, I've had a cup of coffee and one of Joe Rape's cakes, and I'm enjoying the beauty of the morning. I tell you, it's great.
It's a beautiful morning, and if you don't have anything to do today, come on to the Brundage Country Club and play a round of golf. People out there. We had a pretty good crowd yesterday, and each Tuesday arrive about 5 o'clock, and we play a scramble at 5:30, and I think we had like 14 or 15 players to show up yesterday, and they divided the teams up and played best ball. And but we're open every day of the week with the exception of Monday. The green fees are $12 during the week, $15 on the weekend, and to play 18 holes during the week cost only $27, and on the weekend the green fees with a cart for 18 holes is $30. And Mike, I stopped by on the way to church Sunday. I stopped by the Pike County Lake, and it was packed. The bass are I think they're biting pretty good out there, and so go visit the Pike County Lake. Well, it's actually closed on Wednesdays, so.
Can you you can rent a boat?
Yes, you can rent a boat. They have about 8 boats for rent. They have batteries, trolling motors. Of course, life jackets is a must if you're on any vessel in the state of Alabama. It's a state law, and they have vests out there that you can rent, oars, anchors, the whole gamut. And if you don't have your state fishing license, you can buy it out there. And of course, if you go into the lake and you are ages 12, we got a caller coming in. Good morning, you're on Today in LA.
Hi, morning.
All right, let me see if I can get your dad back on the phone here. Hang on. Hello, do I have both of you?
Yeah, you got me. Yeah, you got me.
Woo, great. Bill's not here today. Jack's under the weather, so it's me and the two of you.
Looks like Troy baseball had their best game on the road all season. Won 12-4 last night.
Yeah, they won 12.
They won at UAB at Regis Park.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That improved the Troy baseball record to 15-16, and they'll travel to Georgia State this weekend. And Georgia State, Mike, is 8-25. But they're 4-5 in the conference, and we went over this yesterday. These are some of the teams that Georgia State has lost to. They've lost to West Virginia 4 times. They've lost to Georgia. Vanderbilt beat them 4 times. Tennessee's beat them. Florida's beat them. Kentucky beat them 3 times, and they've lost to Clemson. So they played some powerhouses, and they're about 500 in the conference. So they'll be a tough team to beat. And I've got the as of April the 11th, the college baseball rankings. Arkansas's number 1, Vanderbilt's 2, Mississippi State's 4, Tennessee's 5, Ole Miss is 6, South Carolina's number 11, and Florida comes in at number 18. So Arkansas has taken over Vanderbilt for the number 1 slot in the country as of April the 11th. And
well, we know that Arkansas is number 1 and 2 in track and in baseball now.
Yep. They're normally good, real good at track. And in softball, Oklahoma's ranked number 1. They're 30-0, followed by UCLA. Alabama's 3rd. Florida's 5th. Arkansas is 10. And in women's softball, Kentucky's 12. Louisiana Lafayette is 14. And this is as of April the 11th. LSU's 16. Missouri is 18. Tennessee is 19. And Georgia is 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 SEC women's teams are in the top 20 in softball, college softball.
That's something. That's really something.
Looks like Troy had 13 hits last night, so that's good. Maybe everybody's going to get hot with the bats.
Well, their first pitch, I think Friday is supposed to be at 5 o'clock, and then Saturday at 2, and Sunday at 1 o'clock. And
yeah, it's kind of weird. The Georgia State program plays all their football games at the old Turner Field, where the Braves played baseball for years. I don't know where their baseball stadium is, because, their campus is totally downtown.
Right. I'm not sure where they play. I can look it up. The Lady Trojans are traveling to Birmingham tonight to play UAB. The Lady Trojans are 26-9, 10-3 in the conference. They'll play UAB tonight, and this weekend they'll travel to the University of Louisiana Monroe. Louisiana Monroe is 10-20 overall, 4-7 in the conference. And then next week, Troy will host Georgia Tech at home on April the 21st. So 1 week from today, you can watch the Lady Yellow Jackets try to sting the Trojans. But so, and another local interest, I looked for it in the paper, but Charles Henderson should be naming a head basketball coach within the next few days. Doug Branson was but anyway, we don't know who the new head coach is, so we'll find that out, and we'll announce that. And a little bit more, did y'all see where Rush Post has gotten Valdosta in some hot water? They have, the Georgia High School Association has banned Valdosta from the 2021 football playoffs. They had to vacate some wins. They got a $7,500 fine, and 4 players have been ruled ineligible for 1 year because of lack of control within the football program at Valdosta. And,
well, that's rough because you're punishing those kids. That's what I hate.
well, they had this superstar quarterback that he had brought in from somewhere. Well, they ruled him ineligible, but then he went up north somewhere in Georgia and played football for another team in the state of Georgia. He's a hot shot player. But I think it was Lowndes and Valdosta played on ESPN2. You talking about good-looking athletes.
Look like college teams.
Yeah, they had probably 10 to 15 or 20 Division I players playing on that football field.
Yeah, I wonder why pros just never could just like at least start out at a Division II level. He won all those games as a high school coach, and I mean he would have been a good coach at like West Alabama or something like that to try to get a college career started. Maybe like 10 years ago. He's way too old for it now, but I definitely think he could have won at the college level as well. Of course, now his career is probably over altogether, but I mean he was a proven commodity as a head coach in high school. I'm still shocked that Niblett has decided to stay at Hoover. I thought Niblett would want to get into college ball just like Bill Clark did.
Yeah. Well, I guess how old is Niblett? Is he about 45 or 50 now?
He's probably 45, 46, probably 46, 47, somewhere around that age.
Yeah. I've seen him. I went up there to see. I think they played Mountain Brook one weekend. Abby and Jody and some others. We went up there to watch him play. And that was a nice atmosphere, and he's kind of Hollywood on the sidelines.
Yeah, he makes 150 grand a year as a high school coach, so that's not bad.
Alabama. I don't know what the stat is, but we have a lot of coaches in Alabama who make over $100,000. They make, they make a lot of money, and I saw where the Luverne grad, University of Alabama. Former basketball player Dante Hall signed a 10-day contract with the Orlando Magic, and his salary for those 10 days is $110. No, $110,000, almost $111,000 for 10 days. So I'll go. Yeah, I'll go play with you. And he had been. You gotta
feel good for that kid and his family to know he can play 10 days, make $110,000.
That's right.
And you know what's so crazy?
He'll probably get on permanently. He'll catch on with somebody.
He probably won't even play. He might just sit on the bench and make $110,000.
Well, I think Orlando's not very good, and I think they've had some injuries, so that's good for Dante. And he had signed earlier with Toronto under a 10-day contract.
Is he 7 feet now? How tall is he?
Was it about 6'10", 6'11", Mike? Somewhere in there.
I think 6'10".
7 feet.
No, he's got a wingspan that's about 7'3", though.
Well, did you see where, talking to college basketball, did you see where Troy got a commitment? He's a Kent State transfer. He's a former top 30 JUCO guard. Scott Cross announced the signing of former Polk State standout and Kent State transfer to Corian T.K. Smith. He's a dynamic shooter, scorer, three-point. He's a native of Memphis, Tennessee. So he will be coming to Troy University.
Well, man, that's great to hear. They need all the transfers they can get. South Alabama's whole team is about 7 or 8 transfers.
Yeah, they're getting them up like fish in a barrel. And another thing I wanted to mention is when the Alabama commit Langston Wilson decommitted from Alabama. He was from Highlands College, and he was a great junior college prospect. Well, that dropped Alabama from 3rd in the country in the national ratings as far as it goes, as it relates to recruiting, down to number 10. And so
yeah, but they're bringing in 3 really good players. So they got to basically part ways with another guy.
Right.
I don't know who this kid is going out the door, but
there's 2. They got.
I got a feeling that some of those
And Auburn.
You know, they got a transfer from Texas Tech, and then the guy from Furman averaged 16 points a game. And then Furman's been really good in basketball the last several years. So interesting to see.
This is Alabama getting those transfers.
Yeah, anybody from Texas Tech's gonna be really good though. I mean, Texas Tech's had a great program. Of course, they lost their coach. Coach Beard's now at Texas now.
The Auburn football has announced their eight-day game guidelines. They're going to have 40% capacity. It costs $10 to get into the game.
Whoa, $10 for a spring game?
Well, it's called. I call it it's a fuel cost for the Gus Bus. You know, they got a.
Wow, that's Alabama's charging $5, so that tells you these guys are trying to make up for what they lost last year.
Well, they got to make up for what they got to pay Gus. Anyway, that's not funny. Yeah, it is. But anyway, you got to have a mask to get into the stadium, and you got to have your mask on as you exit the stadium. It's going to be streamed on, I think, SEC Plus network, and again, it's a $10 entrance fee. So
that's 300. That's 300,000 if you have 30,000 people. That's not bad to make $300,000.
Well, Mike, to change gears again, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has been stopped because of blood clots. There's been several cases of women between 18 and 45 who are in the childbearing years who are developing blood clots. Well, I had my normal doctor's visit about 2.5 weeks ago, Dr. Runyon, who had COVID, and he was on a breathing machine for 10 to 12 days, a day or two in Troy, and the rest of that time in Mobile. Well, he was on the set here on my first guest, and he recommends, yes, wear the mask, get a shot, it doesn't matter. So when I went to see him, he said, you know, they're giving them downstairs in the pharmacy, at Dalton Pharmacy. So I walked down there after my appointment with him and set up an appointment for my vaccine. Called it, Jody, yes, I want one. So we both had the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which now has been put on hold by the state of Alabama and throughout the country.
But, you know, they said it was only one person that had come down with this, and how many people?
Well, there's 5 to 6 cases of women who have developed a rare form of blood clotting, and I didn't get into the specifics of the article, but it's pretty serious. I think one of them may have passed away, but you know and none of these vaccines I don't think have been actually. There's been no long-term study because they just have approved them, and so anyway. Read that for yourself. Call your doctor if you're having symptoms. If you've received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and
that's definitely not a good sign. Good sign. That's going to scare a lot of people off, unfortunately.
Yes, it will. Well, beginning October the 1, beginning the 1st of October, you've got to meet certain guidelines. But Senate Bill 126 in the state of Alabama will allow for alcohol home delivery, beer and alcohol, and you got to meet certain requirements. But that bill has passed, and beginning the 1st of October, that can happen.
They've been doing that down in Florida for a long time.
Right, and
that'll be good. That'll be good for Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. I'm sure they're happy about that rule. I'm sure they want to be able to deliver to people on vacation.
Right. Well, I guess.
Yeah. Now, what is this? Does that mean that they can? I would think that they run into trouble with age limits on that.
I think it's got to be. I'm sure. I don't know what the restrictions are, but I'm sure they're going to be very strict as to you can't just drop it off. Somebody's got to be at the door. But I have not read there's a list of regulations that you have to follow. And you have to be a certified person to do that, or a company, or work for a restaurant can even do it, I believe is what it said, but you got to have certain guidelines to deliver. And some good news, the senior centers now can open in the state of Alabama beginning Monday.
Like I was saying?
Yes, sir. It's going to be up to the local municipalities as to whether or not they'll open up their senior center. Some counties, just like Montgomery and Jefferson, those mayors have mandated the continuance of wearing masks. So it's up to the municipalities, but the governor has cleared it along with the senior center director of Alabama. So that's good news that's going to open up. But I just heard.
Looks like Alabama Senate also approves bills for lottery and casinos, so that means it'll actually go to the voters.
Right.
They'll be able to vote on whether to have a lottery in the 6 casinos they've been pushing. So that'll be interesting.
That has been approved?
Yeah, that's what it says.
For vote.
That's great.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll still. I mean, I don't know what kind of votes we'll get in Alabama though when it comes to that.
Of course, this show is brought to you by the great people at. And of course, I ran into Jason the other day, and he is doing very well. And of course, right now they're on fire, selling, all those great cars out there at their shop. And of course, Premier is the best deal in the world. And of course, we appreciate very much him being a part of our show.
Have you seen the new commercial that they have out, Mike?
I love
with Barney
it.
Fife. Yeah, with Don Knotts.
That's the best. I tell you what, they'll win an award with that. Yeah, that is a great. Mike, what do you think about it?
Yeah, it was good. I saw it a few times. It was pretty entertaining.
I believe you'll see this guy on a lot of commercials.
Right.
And of course, Dodge.
So what is going on? What is going on with baseball right now, Forrest? Where are we in the season for Pike Levards and Charles Henderson?
Well, Pike Lib plays again today for high school baseball, Michael. The Alabama High School Athletic Association, their playoffs are going to begin the 16th and 17th, which is this weekend. And I'm not sure where Charles Henderson will play, but the state championships or the first round of the playoffs start this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And then Pike Liberal Arts, their playoffs will start, I think, in about a week and a half. But they play Lee Scott today at home, both the softball team and the baseball team will play Lee Scott out of Auburn. And there's a unique thing going on in Dothan. Dothan's having a Dothan Diamond Classic at the Westgate Softball Complex. There's several high school teams that have been invited to this tournament. It's kind of like a warm-up tournament. And what happens, based upon how many games you advance, I think 2 years ago they awarded 2 or 3 teams like between $4,000 and $5,000 as to help their program. And we've got several local teams in that tournament, and they opened up yesterday. Let's see, Ashford beat Enterprise 4-3, Slocum 5, Dale County 3. You had let's see, George W. No, that's baseball. I was trying to find some more scores, but they're right here. But they're playing Geneva 15, Houston County 2. Ott beat New Brockton 8-0. That was in regular season, but that's a nice tournament for these softball teams to get into. In baseball, George W. Long defeated Luverne yesterday 12-1. Ott beat Reeltown 10-0. That's just a few of the games, but I know Ayrton did win the area. They defeated G.W. Long in baseball to win the area, so they're the area champs. And
anytime you beat G.W. Long, that's good.
You know, in George W. Long, I looked up some trivia. In baseball, they've won 16 state championships. And that leads the state of Alabama. Sweetwater has 10. All right, in softball, Pisgah has 10 state championships. Alabama Christian has 9. All right, golf. A little bit of golf trivia. For girls, state championships, McGill-Tulane 14. Mountain Brook has 10. Boys golf, UMS Wright Prep, 25 state championships.
Oh, man.
That's a lot. And the only 4-time winner in golf was Bobby Wright, who played at UMS Wright Prep. He also played at the University of Alabama. He won it in 06, 08, 09, and 10. And Hunter Hamrick actually won it 3 times in 04, 05, and 06.
Now, you know who Hunter Hamrick is, don't you?
I know of him. I've heard of him.
Troy. He was born in Troy, Alabama.
Yeah, lived on Crow Hill when he was little.
All right, now, here's a trivia.
Now, where did he play in high school? Did he play in Montgomery County or he played at Trinity? Where did he play?
I'm not sure. I have to look.
The Hammer's kid went to Montgomery somewhere.
Yeah. All right, here's a trivia question. Who has the most football state championships in the state of Alabama? Football.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
Well, they list Hoover with 13.
Hoover, I would think, yeah.
Hazelwood with 11. Sweetwater with 10. What girls' team has the most basketball titles?
Oh, boy. Fifth Davia.
Well, Lauderdale County has 13. Pisgah has 9. Winona has 8. What about boys basketball?
Wait a minute. So you're saying Hoover has won 13 state championships in football?
Well, I think they combined Hoover with
when they're Berry.
Yes, I think that's when they were. It was a combination, but that's what it says on the website. All right,
Sweetwater, I would say Sweetwater.
All right, boys basketball. Yeah, Sweetwater has 10. Going back to football, Hoover has 13. Hazelwood 11. Sweetwater has 10. All right, in boys basketball, who has the most?
Pisgah.
No, in boys basketball, you got R.C. Hatch with 10, St. Jude with 10, Madison Academy with 7. All right, cross country, listen to this. Mountain Brook, 23 state titles, Scottsboro 23 in girls track, and in boys track, Hoover and Scottsboro are tied with 15. Now, this is a stat of the day. Volleyball, who has the most state titles?
Oh, it's I read about this not too long ago.
St. Paul's got 16, McGill-Tulane's 21, and another school near Daphne, Bayside Academy, has 29. 19 in a row. And
I know Sampson's won a lot of state championships in girls basketball. I see the signs every time I go by there.
Yeah. Well, in girls tennis, Mountain Brook 29, boys tennis, Mountain Brook 26, and swimming and diving, the girls of Grissom have 18 titles, and the boys have 16 titles. And I've got a stat here of last year's. If I can find my notes. But last year's state champions in baseball and softball, I'll go over that in just a few minutes. But ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick break. Of course, we want to thank Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Troy, Alabama. As Mike mentioned earlier, Jason Gregory, they can make you a sweet deal. Nobody can beat their deal, nobody. I want to thank Troy Bank and Trust Company. They have 14 locations in this area. The Witherington Group, Bird's Drugs, and Southeast Alabama Gas District. We'll be back in just a few minutes with Today in L.A.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
This is Barney at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and I'm here to nip this sale in the bud.
Hello, folks. This is Greg Anthony, sales manager at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Troy, Alabama, offering discounts up to $15,000.
Let's nip that.
0% financing up to 72 months.
We gotta nip that.
Barney, $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book for your trade-in.
You're killing the competition.
Barney!
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Starting April 1st, all your local county and school board meetings will be moving to BBTV Channel 17. Catch Pike County Commission, Troy City Council, and school board meetings live on Facebook, YouTube, and BBTV, brought to you by Troy Cable.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Today in LA with Mike Amos, the Mike Amos Show. I'm Forrest Lee, and on the phone, calling in from Crow Hill is Mike Amos, and his son Michael's calling in from Grayton Beach. I want to thank you for watching this show, and the replay can be seen each and every day around 1:30. And we would certainly like to thank Troy Cable and the Freeman family and Steve Kemp for what he does for this production to take place, and certainly want to continue our prayers for Mike's getting better every day and getting his rest back. And welcome back, guys.
Well, it's good to be back. It's beautiful weather down here at the beach right now, but I think it's going to rain the rest of the weekend. So I wouldn't tell anybody to make a trip down if it's going to be raining.
Well, I think it's supposed to get cooler up here. It's going to start getting back in the low 80s and 70s and maybe even 60 later on in the week. But I usually go day by day, but it sure is nice and crisp outside. A little bit of high school flavor. Like I said earlier, Pike Liberal Arts will play host to Lee Scott in softball and in baseball today. And in boys soccer, Headland will be at Charles Henderson, and they play on the campus of Charles Henderson Middle School. That's James A. Baker Field, and that first kick will begin at 6 o'clock. And in high school tennis, Charles Henderson will be playing in Lagoon Park today. In the sectional meet for tennis, it's the 4A, 5A sectional that will be held at Lagoon Park. And so good luck to those teams. And it's not so busy in Troy this weekend with Troy athletics because they're both traveling. The men baseball team will be traveling to Georgia State. And I think the Lady Trojans are traveling to, if I can get my notes here, they're traveling to the University of Louisiana Monroe.
It's a good weekend to go fishing, I'll tell you that. And and head out to the Pike County Lake. It would be a good thing to do. And of course, all you folks playing golf, Brundage is open to the public, and it's a very good golf course. And of course, we know that a lot of college kids are taking advantage of that golf course, and it's well manicured, wouldn't you think?
I do, and for a small country club, we offer a lot of good things out there. We have a nice pro shop. Golf Plus out of Dothan came yesterday and restocked our golf balls and tees and gloves and things of that nature. And we have refreshments that you can purchase. We've got snacks. We've got a renovation of all the bathrooms recently. And, as it relates to golf, I saw a report yesterday where Tiger Woods was driving nearly 84 miles an hour in a 45-mile-an-hour zone.
You're going down a mountain, and you're going 84 miles an hour. I mean, I know.
It says that Woods will not be charged with a crime as speeding and inability to negotiate the curve of the roadway were determined to be the sole reason for the crash. So we hope his recovery, but I don't think there were any breaks, but I think they listed when he crashed it was about 78 miles an hour according to the black box. But hope that he's on the mend, and he's got, I think one of his legs, is it left leg that's shattered or his right one? It's one of the two. But hope that he's on the mend. And this Zalatoris, they say great things will come from him. He's a native of San Francisco. He was born in San Francisco. He's 24 years old and attended Wake Forest, and he skipped his senior year to join the tour. But he had a great Walker Cup experience the year that he played for the United States on the Walker team. And what that is, the Walker Cup is amateurs who play, I think, against Europeans for the Walker Cup, and I don't know if that's every year or every other year, but that's what that is.
Is he a member of the PGA?
Yes, sir. He's 24. He's, I think, won one tournament thus far, and I forgot where that was, but
where are they playing this week, Mike?
Mike, we lost you. Can you hear us, Michael?
Where are they playing this week, Mike?
Hey, Steve, for some reason we lost Michael on the phone, but he's lit up here. Yeah. He just went off. I guess he'll call back. Are you with me, Mike, or Michael?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, he'll have to call back. He was just lost.
I got
communications.
Real good rehab yesterday. I wanted to just tickle Pink with the kind of.
All right, here we go. Let me put you on hold.
Okay, there we go. Come on in.
Good morning. Are you back with us?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the phone.
Okay.
I'm trying to talk, and I hear you all, but I can't go through.
Right. All right. I got you now. Let me bring your dad back. Hello. Do I have both of you?
You got me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have on the phone, we got Mike calling in from Crow Hill, founder of the show, and his son Mike was calling in from Grayton Beach. We had temporary communication problems, and we got it solved now. But I think we were talking about golf in Zalatoris.
Yeah, they're playing in Sea Island, Georgia, I think.
Sea Island, Georgia. Okay. What city is that near? Is that
near Hilton Head?
Hilton Head, South Carolina. Okay, but
a lot of the big names won't play this weekend. I mean, coming off the Masters, a lot of guys take this week off, so this will be some good players, but nobody really great is going to be playing, I wouldn't think.
Well, I imagine
they're giving some younger players an opportunity to win for the first time. So hopefully, we can do that.
There's another thing I want to mention about high school softball. In the USA, top softball teams in the country, ladies softball, Leander, Texas is ranked number 1. Alabama has Hewitt-Trussville at number 10 in the nation. Bob Jones out of Madison is number 17, and Fairhope is ranked number 24 in the country. And in baseball, Buford, Georgia is ranked number 1. Hewitt-Trussville is ranked number 18 in the country, and Auburn is ranked number 19. So that's some good things to say about the state of Alabama as it relates to softball and baseball, but those teams are usually dominated by California, Texas, and Florida, and Georgia. And so it's good that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams from the state of Alabama, the top 25 in softball and baseball. So,
well, that's good.
Well, A-Day game is right around the corner, and there's a lot of excitement going on this weekend in Tuscaloosa.
Close to 40,000 fans, I'd say.
Right.
I mean, you're going to have to wear a mask. It's going to be everybody wants to see Bryce Young. Of course, everybody's saying he's lightening up in the spring, looking great at quarterback. Alabama returns a lot of great players on defense. Basically, you're just really going to be looking at wide receiver, running back, and quarterback. I think that's what everybody's kind of intrigued to see.
Yeah.
Some of these younger guys step up. I think Alabama's going to be really, really good on defense next year.
What about offensive line? How many starters did we have coming back too?
Well, you got Neal coming back. You got the guard coming back. Was it Okor? I can't remember his name.
Okafor.
You got Chris Owens that started the last 3 games at center. So basically, you're trying to replace Leatherwood and Brown, the big guard that weighs 360 pounds.
I think
they got at least 3 starters coming back.
Well, I think what I'd want to do is I would want to get to Denny Chimes about 6 o'clock in the morning and set me up a chair and wait for all those superstars to roll in to put their hands in the cement and their cleats. I think that would be a very neat experience. I
wonder if Tua will be there. You know, they're supposed to honor the seniors from last year. So if Tua's there, and Matt Jones, that's going to be some rock star treatment there, and then there's going to be some amazing pictures to be taken if you get all those guys together.
That's right. And if it were me, I'd wear a Hawaiian lei like I did in California. It didn't work out when we played Clemson. But the NCAA, on the second page of the Dothan Eagle, the NCAA is on the verge of transfer rule change, which means, is this going to start free agency? The Division I Council meets Wednesday and Thursday, and the agenda includes voting on a proposal that would grant all college athletes the ability to transfer one time as undergraduates without having to sit out a season of competition. All indications are the proposal will pass. The question is...
they already let them do it now.
Yeah, the question is, when is the cutoff date? Well, they're looking at, I think, the 1st of May for fall sports, and I've lost it in the article here, and later on in the year, the 1st of July for spring sports. So if they enact this, they'll have a cutoff as of May 1. If you don't declare before the 30th of June, the end of April, you got to stay where you are.
Yeah.
But you know,
another thing, the key here is one time. One time makes it better. We've it's been a few of them. Guys, they've made the move two or 3 times.
Well, Justin Fields did not have to sit out. When he transferred from Georgia to Ohio State, he declared a hardship. Research it of why he was able to transfer without sitting out. It related to, just read it for yourself, but there was a reason why he could transfer. But anyway,
can't believe Justin Fields ran a 4.4. I didn't feel like he ran against Alabama very much in the national championship game.
Was he limited? Was he hurt? I can't remember.
Well, he'd hurt his ribs against Clemson.
Right. And
they blew out Clemson in that game, and probably could have taken him out early in the 4th quarter. But he had almost 2 weeks to get ready for Alabama.
Right.
We've got another football game in Montgomery this week, don't we?
You might have one. You might have a 1AA game.
Let's
That's
see.
what I'm saying.
Did I read where Jacksonville State made the playoffs?
I'm sure they did. They were 7-1.
I don't have that in front of me.
Are they gonna do their playoffs like they did during the regular season?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they will for 1AA.
Okay. But no, now during the spring.
Yeah, they finished that.
I don't understand why none of these 1AA games have been on television. I mean, I'd watch football.
I know it.
Yeah.
I figured ESPN would have jumped all over that.
Yeah. Here's Ohio State.
Alabama State is 9-2. So that's counting. They played 4 games in the fall, and now they've played an additional 7 more games in the spring.
Golly.
Yeah.
This has helped their program, hasn't it?
Yeah. Here's Ohio State's schedule for football. Minnesota. They host Oregon, Tulsa, Akron, Rutgers, Maryland, Indiana, Penn State, Nebraska, Purdue, Michigan State, and Michigan. Looks like an undefeated year to me, unless it's Oregon.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the. How would that be listed, Michael? Would it be FBS playoffs?
I'm looking for it right now. I mean, it used to be 1AA,
Yeah, it's 1AA.
I don't think they call it 1AA anymore, though. What is it? Well, Alabama's like in Auburn. It's like in the football subdivision.
Right. Let's see.
I'll try to find it here.
Okay. Of course, we mentioned the other day that Eddie George is taking over for Tennessee State. He's wanting to revive that program, and of course, he was the great Heisman Trophy winner that played at Ohio State. He rushed for over 10,000 yards in the National Football League, 9 seasons.
Eddie George is going to be their head coach?
At Tennessee State. They're in Nashville, and they're wanting to.
Yeah, he's going to try. I know he'll try his best to make the move to 1A. I'm surprised that he would go to coach a 1AA school.
Well, this is
he probably could get a 1A school.
Well, he does not have any coaching experience, but they did hire him as the head coach, just like Deion Sanders. He was hired as the head coach, and it's going to be interesting to see. They want to do a lot of revitalizations for these for historically black colleges, and he would be a good fit as far as a figurehead of a nationally known person and player, and he's a shrewd businessman.
I'll tell you what, he was great when he played for the Titans, man.
Yeah,
and he had several games over 200 yards.
He's a very outstanding individual, so that's going to help that program a lot.
Well, Mike's looking that up. Mike was looking that up.
Jacksonville State beat Murray State to earn a playoff spot. So see if they'll say who they're going to play.
Okay. Well, while you're looking that up, the Troy Arts Festival, the Troy Fest will be the last weekend in April, the 24th and the 25th. Saturday from 9 to 5 and Sunday from 10 to 4. You're going to have art, food, activities, and entertainment for all types of people, all ages. It's a great thing to shop for Mother's Day. But the Troy Fest will be in downtown Troy, April the 24th and 25th, starting Saturday morning from 9 till 5 and Sunday 10 till 4. So go visit the Troy Fest Arts and Crafts Festival in downtown Troy. It's always the last weekend in April, and they were not able to have it last year, and so we're looking forward to that coming.
No better program anywhere than Troy, Alabama. Sparks and
I think Morgan. Yeah, Morgan.
Yeah, Jacksonville State is the conference champion for the 9th time in the OVC. The FCS football selection show will be held Sunday, April 18th. So nobody knows who they're playing until this Sunday, April 18th at 10:30 a.m. on ESPNU. The playoffs begin on April 24th, and Jacksonville State is eligible to host the first-round game.
Is that going to be 8 teams or 16?
16.
16. So it'll be 8 games. 8, then 4, then 2, then 1. So 4 games wins it all.
Jacksonville State is leaving the OVC and going to the Atlantic Sun Football Conference. They're starting a new football league, and Jacksonville State's going to be a part of it.
Right.
Who's in that league, Mike?
It's going to be like Kennesaw State. It's going to be some teams out of Georgia. It's going to be a little bit of a mixture of the Southern Conference and the OVC.
What's that conference called, Michael?
It's going to be called the Atlantic Sun. It's a basketball conference now. They're going to turn it into a football conference.
Okay.
For 1 year, Jacksonville State is going to play in the WAC. They're going to have to play a bunch of teams from out west. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Kind of like back in the day when Troy had to play New Mexico State in Idaho.
Yeah.
Well, Gross is a good coach. Gross is a good coach at Jacksonville State.
Well, is it?
Do they tell you who the other teams are? You named a couple of them.
No, I'm saying they're having a selection show. Nobody even knows who's going to play. They've earned a spot because they won their conference championship.
Yeah. But I was more interested in football. What kind of league that's going to be?
I'll have to pull it up.
Well,
I can pull it up.
I'm trying to find it
This
myself.
show is brought to you by Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram trucks in Troy, and of course they're located on the bypass and have a great selection of new and used cars and trucks. And right now they got a huge sale going on at Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy.
Yes, sir. So you were able to see Jason the other day?
Oh yeah, he is a hands-on dealer. I promise you.
Right.
He's at the head of all of it. He does a great job.
Yeah. Well, Michael, have you been out to eat yet? Have they let you do that, or are you just rehabbing and coming home?
Oh, well, I've had so many nice people to bring food to me. I tell you what, my good friend Jake Corley brought a chicken pot pie that will probably know better anywhere.
Chicken pot.
He's a wonderful cook and dear friend.
Was the
Yeah,
cat?
I left the house before that happened.
I know it. She's just precious, and her and Joe Rafe and all of my friends and Jacqueline Floyd. They made sure that I didn't go hungry. I guarantee you. But everything's fine. I went to rehab yesterday, and Mike, did you find that information?
I'm looking right now. It's hard to find out a whole lot of information about it.
Right.
I want to say more teams are having to join.
Maybe.
Do I join the league? I saw where.
Yeah. Right now, it's got Eastern Kentucky and Jacksonville State are leaving the Ohio Valley Conference. Central Arkansas is leaving the Southland Conference. They're pretty good. They played Austin Peay and Montgomery a couple of years ago. Kennesaw State and North Alabama are going to join. So that means North Alabama and Jacksonville State will be in the same conference.
Is it Bellarmine, Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky, Kennesaw, Jacksonville, Jacksonville State, Liberty, Liscum, North Alabama, North Florida, Stetson, and Florida Gulf Coast University? Is that what you have?
That's basketball.
That's the basketball stuff? Okay.
Yeah, Liberty, Division I. Liberty's Division I in football.
Okay.
I tell you.
Yeah, the only schools I'm seeing right now is Jacksonville State, Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky, North Alabama, Kennesaw State. That's all I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess
those
they're
are some
trying.
pretty good teams, and I did say who went into. Did you mention Western Kentucky?
Western Kentucky's Division I, Dad.
Okay, yeah.
This is 1AA.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, I mean the other schools that play basketball are Liberty, Stetson, Bellamar, and Vine. I never even heard of that. Florida Gulf Coast, Jacksonville, Lipscomb, and North Florida.
Yeah. Well, the Atlanta Braves.
Troy used to be in this conference in basketball.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, when you had to play David Lipscomb, and you had to play Belmont. I mean, those are two great programs out of Nashville.
I tell you, you're right.
And then you know who else Troy used to have to play that was so good with Central Florida. Well, Central Florida had a guard that broke Troy's heart one night at the championship game up in Nashville.
Yeah.
Troy couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
Well, the Braves lost last night.
Boy, they're playing awful. They've lost 3 in a row at home, I think.
Yeah, they play the Marlins tonight and tomorrow night at home, and then they'll travel to the Chicago to play the Cubs. But in baseball, Boston leads the East. In the American League, they have a 7-3 record. Central Division, Cleveland has a 5-4 record. In the West, Los Angeles has 7-3 record. And in the National League, Philadelphia 6-4 in the East, Cincinnati 7-3 in the Central, and the Dodgers are 8-2 in the West. And
yeah,
they're playing great.
Yeah. So anyway,
I want to mention Zenko Drugs on the corner in downtown Troy, and my good friend Walt and Kristen Sanders. They own that drugstore, and of course the drugstore would not be the same without my good buddy Charles Senko, the pharmacist, and they've been there. Oh gosh, there's been a drugstore there at least 50 years, maybe more.
Yeah. Well, it's almost 8 o'clock hour. I also want to thank Hook's Barbecue, the Alabama Real Estate Connection, located on Memorial Parkway here in Troy, Alabama. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a few minutes with Today in LA.
This is Barney in Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and I'm here to nip this sale in the bud.
Hello, folks. This is Greg Anthony, sales manager at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Troy, Alabama, offering discounts up to $15,000.
Let's nip that.
0% financing up to 72 months.
We gotta nip that.
Barney, $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book for your trade-in.
You're killing the competition.
Barney!
Napa Know-How. Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945. Napa Know-How.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Eddie, I'm right here.
Oh, Miss Mary, I'm right here.
I'm right here.
Since 1969, We've been right here because at Troy Regional Medical Center, we take these words to heart.
I'm right here.
Thank you. Remarkable people, remarkable care.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Not our commercials, our people.
Is it Troy Health and Rehab Center? Let's see. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on Today in L.A. With Mike Amos is on the phone, calling in from his home in Crow Hill. And his son Michael's calling in from Grayton Beach, Florida. And I'm Forrest Lee. Want to thank you for watching us this morning, this Wednesday morning, Hump Day. And our show, Mike's show, will be replayed again today at 1:30 on Troy Cable 2. Good morning again, Mike and Michael.
Good morning. It looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and today is
every day for you should be a beautiful day for the rest of your life, man.
That's right, man. You're right.
And today is National Gardening Day. Of course, I've got maybe just a couple more things to plant, but I've got my snap beans in the ground for the second time. Yeah. They didn't come up. I've got about 10 tomato plants, about 10 or 15 pepper plants, planted some squash and cucumber, and my daughter's favorite, zinnias. I've got some zinnias in the garden that are popping up. But it's also...
What is it? Is it a vegetable?
No, zinnias is a flower.
Okay.
It just kind of gives a little bit of zest to the garden. And go to Whaley Pecans.
People eat flowers, though. I do know that. I've seen that before on plates.
Yeah. But today's also National Pecan Day, so go to Whaley Pecans and pick up a pack of pecans, salted pecans, or any kind of pecan pie.
What's the story with
Whaley have anything going on? Is Whaley still selling pecans?
Oh yeah, they sell them. They got that and candy, and you can go in and get these little packets of different gift things, and with Mother's Day, you can get whole pecan, the halved pecans, the chopped up pecans already in the package. Piggly Wiggly carries their brand, so if you can't get them at Whaley, get them at Piggly Wiggly. And
we appreciate Piggly Wiggly on North 39th Street in Troy. Well, I tell you what, I love to go to Piggly Wiggly and let them cut me a big thick steak and potato and lettuce, and boy, I am ready for a great meal.
What you got?
I tell you what, if you want to try something good, I don't know if they have it in Troy. They have those Ken's dressings.
We do.
And yeah, you can probably get it at Publix. But they have a Russian Ken's dressing, Russian dressing that's incredible. I'm like addicted to it.
Russian.
I'm a big Thousand Island guy, homemade Thousand Island. My wife makes all our dressings usually. But I bought some of this Russian dressing one time, and it is so good.
I tell you what, do get you some fresh string beans out of the produce section. Wash them real good. Put them in a Pyrex dish, and empty a jar of that Ken's dressing, Russian dressing, on your beans or asparagus, and bake it in the oven for about 30-40 minutes, 300, 350. It's good. I've done it with Thousand Islands. I've done it with Thousand Island. I've got that recipe from Amy Allen, Jean's wife.
Well, a lot of people put Russian dressing on Reuben sandwiches. Some people do Thousand Island, some people do Russian. And Russian dressing is so good to me. In some aspects, I like it about as much as Thousand Island.
What does Russian dressing kind of taste like? Is it like a Thousand Island type thing, a little bit more
spice?
Yeah,
it's like a Thousand Island, a little bit sweeter maybe.
Yeah, I like getting raw carrots and pouring dressing on top of it, and just eating raw carrots with a little bit of flavor. Have you ever had go juice? That go juice?
Oh yeah, at the beach, yeah.
But can you find it down there this time of year, or are they out?
Well, yeah, the owner is the guy that used to play with Elvis, and plays in a band called Hubba Hubba down here.
Hubba Hubba.
Yeah, his name is oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank, but he's related to the Drake Clampett guys, Dad.
I'll tell you about that Go Juice.
Yeah, it's really good. A lot of people put it on French fries.
A friend of mine, Cheney Thompson, his wife Susan, they gave me a bottle of that Go Juice. Well, it's so good, I could take the cap off and I'll just swig it. It's not too hot, but it's got a little bit of I'll just take a little swig of it. But I'm out of it now. So.
Yeah, they have it at Graton Seafood Company down here. They have it at the Red Bar. They have it at a lot of places around Graton.
Okay. Well, I need to come to the Red Bar.
This show is brought to you, Mike, by Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need. Right here, I don't believe you can do it right here in front of all these people that are watching. I don't believe you can name me those 14. If you do, you win a cup of coffee.
You talking about me or Michael?
I don't know how many is in Troy. 3 in Troy.
There's 4 in Troy now.
4 in Troy, 1 in Brundage, or 2 in Brundage.
2 in Brundage.
1 in Goshen, 1 in Enterprise, 1 in Dothan,
2 in
1 in New Brockton,
2 in Dothan,
1 in New Brockton, 1 in Auburn.
Yes.
1 in Montgomery.
No.
No Montgomery. That's about as good as I can do. There's 1 in Harrington.
You got 4 in Troy, 2 in Brundage, Goshen, Enterprise, New Brockton. Dothan has 2. Auburn, Arrington, and let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're missing 1 somewhere.
There's not 1 in Ozark.
I don't think so. Who are we missing, Mike?
Harrington, and there's 1 in New Brockton. You got the 1 in
they've already said that.
But there's that many outlets out there. Troy Bank and Trust Company.
Where is the location? Where is the location in Goshen at?
At the co-op, at the Goshen Farmers the Goshen Farmers Co-op. Go past the high school like you're heading to Vidette. Go past the high school, take that curb, and it's on your left. That's the 3rd location that they've had in Goshen. The first one used to be in downtown Goshen. Take a left. It's on the right before you get to the cemetery. That's where a cotton gin explosion happened in the 1950s. And it was on a homecoming day. And the next location is, if you were to go past the new co-op, take your first left in Baptist Bottom, and it would be out there on your left. So, and now they're in the 3rd location in Goshen.
I'll tell you a dish I had the other day that you're talking about y'all having your favorite dishes. One of mine is to take new potatoes, boil the new potatoes, and then followed by chop up some link sausage and get it going real good in the boiler, and then take some a head of lettuce and chop it up fine and chop it up and put it in there, and you've got a delicious meal. Did you get what I said?
What would you call that? Goulash? What's that called? Potatoes?
Well, maybe Hungarian goulash.
Is that what it is?
And then, of course, what's good with it is your pepper sauce. Pour some pepper sauce in there with your individual serving, and that is a great meal.
Do you Miss Carol, make you some skillet cornbread with that?
I make that. It's easy to make. It really is.
Do you eat skillet cornbread with it? Or
crackers? You could. But the boiled potatoes, the new potatoes. What I'm talking about, new potatoes.
Yes, sir.
Link sausage chopped up in about an inch and a half. Then some big head of lettuce. It's not much you got to think about. It's only 3 main objects, and the link sausage, the new potatoes, and the cabbage.
Right.
That's pretty easy. They boil it.
All right, specify what type of link sausage.
Huh?
What brand of link sausage?
Oh, I always was favorite toward the one that comes out of Elba, but I like Kanaka too very, very much. Either one of those,
Well, aren't they under the same umbrella now, Kanaka and Kelly?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm worried. No, Kelly has joined in with a company that bought them out. Has bought Kelly's out. They've just built a new building in New Brockton.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people are, I love that Kelly sausage, and I hope they don't change the name, but because it's a good product, no question about it.
Yeah, I could go for some Kelly sausage right now. I may just take a detour to Bird's Drugs on the way to the golf course.
Yeah. Well, you do. You might. Hey, I tell you, I might want you to drop by and pick me up. How about that?
Well, after the show, you tell me what you want, and we'll call it in, and I'll bring it to you.
Yeah, do call me. Of
Okay.
course, ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you by Troy Bank and Trust Company, and of course the wonderful people there, and we appreciate all of their support.
We need to thank Pat and Geraldine at Sisters. They gave us a lot of food when you came home as well.
I think that is. Those are two women I love. They're great people, Pat and Geraldine, and they got the best restaurant in this part of the country for lunch. And
we had dressing and squash casserole and baked chicken, and they gave you strawberry
shortcake.
Shortcake, yeah.
Ooh.
And you had
bread pudding.
peas. You had cranberry sauce. You had everything.
You know what?
I know it.
If I've got any friends out there today about 12:30, it sure would be nice somebody knock on the door at the country club and bring me a plate full of that Sister's food. You can only eat so many potato chips.
Spaghetti day. They still do spaghetti on Wednesday.
They still do spaghetti, and that's a good meal to get. Spaghetti, and on that meal you can get spaghetti with a salad and bread. It's a wonderful meal. It really is.
Go spaghetti, and that one of the
And
Wiggle
they
songs.
always give you a good helping.
I'm gonna have to come through Troy around lunch one of these days and go to Sisters. It's been a long time for me.
Why don't we talk about some of these great meals you get? I always thought that Mossy Grove, if you order the thick steak, you'll get as good a steak as you'll find anywhere. A lot of, to me, a steak is not good unless it's thick. And if you ask for the Mike Amos cut and Sisters, you're liable to get a real good steak. At Mossy Grove, you're liable to get a real good steak. People ask me where there is a good steak. There's no question of it. They have a real good steak when they cut it thick. It's wonderful.
You got Sylvia out there to cut up with too.
Yeah, Sylvia cuts my hair every time. That chair right there when you walk in, and she's always cutting my hair and all that stuff.
She's from Luverne, Alabama.
Huh?
I think she lives in Luverne.
Her mom's mom's from France.
Yeah, she's a true
friend. Fluent French.
She's a sweet, sweet person, and she cuts up with a lot of people that come in there, and so if you come in there, you need to have a good sense of humor. She's a great girl.
Hey, Mike, about 2 weeks ago, I'm in there, and I see Doug Brown from Luverne, and we got to talking, and I said, y'all in here by yourself? He said, no, I got some friends out there. He said, Lynn Johnson's out there. I said, Lynn Johnson from Dozier? And I'd never met him, so I went out there, and Lynn Johnson, I introduced myself. I said, listen, when I was in the 8th grade, I was about 5'7", 140 pounds. You were 6'3", 260, and I was trying to block you in a spring football game. We had a good laugh. My food was ready, but I went to their table. I talked with Lynn for about a good 30 or 40 minutes, and, he's a retired pulpwooder or wood producer, and nice, jovial kind of guy, and married his sweetheart from Dozier High School. But man, he looks like he could still get you 2 to 4 yards on any given.
No, you were glad to meet him.
Great article on AL.com about Caleb Ross, the former Prattville coach, is now on Chip Lindsey's staff at Troy. And it's a great article about him and Carlton Marshall. He coached Carlton Marshall at Gil Tulane for 2 years. They went 26-2 and played in 2 state championship games, 7A state championship games. And he was talking to a Mobile radio station about just what an unbelievable player he is. Marshall was a freshman All-American in 2018, second-team All-American in 2019, preseason All-American in 2020. He finished 2020 season with 113 tackles, including 22 for loss. That's 22 tackles for loss, and had a season-high 21 tackles against Coastal Carolina to finish the season.
Yeah. Wow. He's a great player.
He is an amazing player. How in the world did not every team in the SEC and all over the country come after him?
He really wasn't that big, Mike. He was about 200 when he played high school ball. And
no, but I'm talking about now with the transfer portal.
Oh yeah, but let's keep our mouth shut, Mike. Let's don't run that.
I mean, he's 5'9", 220 pounds.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, Trey Blackman wasn't that big at Auburn. Trey wasn't that tall, was he? That played for Troup County and LaGrange and Auburn. Trey Blackman wasn't a very big guy, but he was fast and was like a Rottweiler hitting you wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No question about it.
I mean, Sam Mills is the perfect example. He played for the Saints. He played for the Carolina Panthers. He played 12 years in the NFL. He was 5'9".
Singletary
was only 5'10".
Yeah.
What, the great Singletary was only 5'10"? He was a great one.
Yeah. He wasn't a big guy.
His eyes were.
I'm seeing Goldfinger's up there on that chart, and I tell you, Goldfinger has the best chicken you'll find anywhere. And of course, you get the chicken wings, or it's just a great, not only for lunch and dinner. And boy, it's wonderful. If you haven't tried it, try it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, Goldfinger's is in the public shopping center. I have to admit, I'm a big fan of the new cut through. When I come into Troy now, I can just turn at the Sportsplex and come in right there at Publix, and then I've got a straight shot to Crow Hill.
You know, I wish there was some way you would have to buy some land, you had to put some dirt in it, but I wish we could develop behind Panda, behind the Wendy's, behind Chick-fil-A, and develop a outlet that way, a service road behind them where you can get out and go to Publix to get back to a red light, because it is so tough.
I think you're going to be able to do that.
It's so tough to get out in the mornings and in the afternoons when you're trying to get into Chick-fil-A, because you're in that middle turn lane when those 18-wheelers are going 90 to nothing. You just better hold on, hope nobody hits you, but it's hard to get in and out of there. So,
has anybody ever tried Wendy's breakfast? They have breakfast now.
I never have.
It's funny. Wendy's has breakfast now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've never tried it.
Yeah. I've tried Taco Bell. That's not bad. I've tried Taco Bell. That's not bad.
I've never had that.
Yeah.
But, you know, that you just talked about is in the plans. It's in the plans to have that cut across from the different place. You know, I think that, of course, everybody needs to know that we got a new store open. Is that right?
Yeah, you got TJ Maxx.
You don't look like you can hear me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what we got Hobby Lobby,
TJ Maxx, and something else.
Rec Room Shoes or some kind of shoe
TJ
store.
Maxx
Ulta.
They opened up on Sunday.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I'm not sure. Ulta's opened is it open the mascara makeup place, lotion, Ulta for women. I guess guys use it too. I've never have, but.
So where is this located? Is this located
It's
in
in this
Walmart?
new shopping center. TJ Maxx is open now in the new shopping center. You knew that, didn't you?
I didn't. I did not. Because I didn't get it.
I saw it on Facebook. Everybody was posting about it.
And boy, it was a big crowd out there yesterday.
And
And with the popularity of that new shopping center, just think of how crowded it's going to be all the way past Walmart.
Well, now you can go behind Lowe's. You can, when you go past, when you come into Lowe's from Walmart, you can keep going and come on out near the Sportsplex Road. You can go all those roads open up. So there's another way to get off 231, and that place is just going to start booming. And there's a new subdivision going in out there near the Sportsplex. Right there by Crystal, when you take a right between Crystal and Piggly Wiggly, right there at the corner, the old City Trends is turning into Planet Fitness. The 24-hour fitness center is coming in there. They're revamping that building. They're putting in a new facial, how it looks. There's a new entrance that's being made. They're putting up steel beams. But Planet Fitness is coming to Troy. And
in what shopping center is that?
It's behind Crystal. It's on the same as 231 Piggly Wiggly.
What about my little Chinese place? Is it still there? Has it been there?
Yes. Now Mr. Ho's is open back up.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
And I've tasted that once.
It's pretty good. If it would have been the time of day, they would have been open. It would have been hard for me not to pop in there.
Well, it's pretty good, and I've been
well,
there.
I tell you this, that little Chinese place that everybody goes to. That's you'll find.
I've been to that place for many a night in Troy, Alabama, because they always stay open late at night too.
Yeah. You got Golden Crane, and you. What's that place over there by Preston's Huddle House? There's a Japanese place that I can't call the name right now.
Was it Mikado?
Mikata.
That's
Akuma Mikata. Not Mikata. That's a pretty
Mikata,
good place. And there's a Trojan teriyaki on the right before you get to Southside Baptist Church.
I heard about that. I heard
pretty good.
I heard that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard it too, and they've gotten getting a lot of business now.
Yeah.
Troy's got a lot of restaurants. You think about it, really do.
Well,
you got to for a college town though.
Yeah.
Crows is good where it is, but if we had another Crows on the bypass or close to the bypass, I know we got a lot of chicken places, but another Crows. Of course, I like going to Brundage to that Crows, and I hadn't been to the one on 3 Notch under the new ownership, but
Crows would be smart to have somebody to put one in near the college. It would be because right now there's only 2 locations, one in Brundage and one in
well, if I were to put one, I'd put one right beside Church's Chicken. Church's Chicken is going in the location where the old Crows was. I would buy the Pizza Hut old building and put one there.
Yeah, that's where it all started. To be honest with you.
Right in there.
Yeah, but they're not going to go right next to where they got a Crow's Chicken. They own the Crow's Chicken. Not Crow's Chicken, but Church's Chicken is paying the Crows rent. Okay. They own that property. They own that building.
Okay.
Yeah. But also, the thing that I want to happen so badly is to get another motel, a real nice motel. We need another one.
Well, you could also get like one of those extended stay motels or hotels, where people coming in town for business. They have like the little kitchenettes and like kind of like a small little apartment you can stay in for like a week.
Well, where could it be built on 231? It had to go maybe into that.
Well, eventually they're going to have to start building towards Montgomery, I would hope.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could build it.
Didn't you say there was a bowling alley going in where the new movie theater was?
That would be a thought. That'd be a thought. I don't know if there is. At one time, that was their plans, I think, to put that in a restaurant type pub in there, but then that fell through, and then COVID hit.
I tell you what did good in Troy is a mellow mushroom pizza. Because you also have a bar slash entertainment place.
Well, you know, right there where Country's Barbecue used to be, that's so heavily, you know, there's a lot of traffic that comes through there, and but
yeah, that building's been sitting there forever.
Yeah, but I would, if I were going to put a business there, I'd want that building clear.
That was that was the famous Western Sizzler spot, wasn't it? For years.
I can remember. Yeah. I remember that. That was pretty good when you would go to the.
Then he changed the name to Diamond Willie's for a while, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll tell you another place I like to eat is Francesca's on the square, owned by Diane and Yanni, and I like B. Graves. That's where Max Howell and I ate.
That's right. Yeah,
well, Max
ate outstanding restaurant, no question.
Max had some kind of shrimp pasta, and I had a ribeye steak and some buttered spinach, and it was.
How big of a ribeye cut can you get at B. Graves?
Well, let's
14, 16 ounces?
I think that might have been 12 to 14. It might have been a 14-ounce cut, maybe a 16, but it was very good.
And they have a good fillet. They have a real good fillet there. No question.
And you got.
I'll tell you what, it's hard for me to cook a steak. I mean, or go buy a steak from anywhere, because I feel like I can cook a steak about as good as anybody.
Well, you know,
I tell my wife every time I eat out and I have a steak somewhere, I'm like, man, my steak's better than this.
You know, it was about 3 months ago. I ate a steak at a friend's house, and he cooked some big old ribeyes and baked potato, and we had a salad. And it's Mike's Steaks, located on Crow Hill. That was about 3 or 4 months ago. I think Carol's out of town. I think Jody was somewhere. I think she'd gone to Georgia to visit.
Well, you know what it is.
Dad doesn't even marinate a steak though. He's probably just salt and pepper.
Well, it was good. It was good. When I know I'm going to eat a steak, I try not to eat much that day. But that was a good one.
Piece of meat, it's going to always be good as long as you don't overcook it. You know.
Coach Sadler is the only guy I ever knew that would eat all his meat, like barbecue, steak, chicken dry. He never did sauces. Because he always told me he wanted to taste the meat. I can't do that. I can't do that. It's got to have some kind of seasoning on it for me.
No, his wife's maiden name is Linton, and she's from the land of Goshen, between Goshen and Glenwood, and she's kin to all those Lintons down there, and I think they've got relatives in Clove as well.
You can over.
I'm still a Dell's guy. I like Dell's. I like Moore's. I like Montreal seasoning. That's really good. I don't know if y'all have ever tried that.
Yeah.
Well, we got about another minute or so left, and we want to thank y'all for watching us today on Today in LA with Mike Amos, and we want to thank Michael for calling in from Grayton Beach and Mike calling in from Crow Hill. I'll let y'all close with some ending comments, but thank you for joining us. Watch the replay today at 1:30. What you got planned today, Mike and Michael?
I don't know.
Well, as always, I get
season hit us, you know.
Well, you got to extend it until May. What was it? May 15th.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Didn't taxes get extended?
Yes. The tax season has been extended, I think, 1 month.
May the 15th.
Yeah, May the 15th. And,
of course, we appreciate you very much. And, of course, this show is brought to you by Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram Truck on the bypass. Jason Gregory, and, boy, it's a great place to buy a car or truck.
Well, thank you.
I want to also mention all of our great sponsors. We appreciate you very much on Laid Back TV at its very best today in LA.
Yeah, thank you for watching. We'll be back in the morning at 7 o'clock on Today in LA.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Eddie, I'm right here.